it is Dani'i and welcome to this update video this morning. I hope you're doing great, and we're going to be taking a look at what is going on across the Atlantic, with focus being on the Caribbean. We'll be talking about the rainfall forecast for today, as well as the expected winds and even those wave heights. So here we are taking a look at this wide satellite imagery. Up there is previously known Invest 90L, which is no longer expected to develop because it is making its way into a more hostile environment, and that it is getting a lot cooler out there. So that is not expected to develop. But across portions of northern South America, going to sections of the Caribbean, especially the Southwest Caribbean, we're definitely seeing some activity, and even along Gulf Coast states of the U.S., where additional rainfall activity is expected through today. So let us zoom in even more. Let's go to northern South America, and here we can see that there's quite a bit of activity in the area across some countries, not for everywhere. However, as we're going to be heading through today, it's likely that we're going to be seeing a lot more shower and thunderstorm activity developing with the help of the daytime heating. As a result, there could be some periods of very heavy rainfall across some areas, even for parts of Trinidad as well, especially the southern half of the country. And then looking toward most of the Lesser Antilles, the ABC Islands, much isn't happening, but in the vicinity of Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama, we're definitely seeing where there is some activity. So there is an airflow pressure within that region, helping to enhance all of the activity that we're seeing. Let's head further up north. Here you can see that for other areas, there may be some showers moving through, even some heavy downpours at times, but for the most part, there isn't any major activity noted across the basin right now. Let's head on to the rainfall forecast for today. Here we can see it. This is from the Europe, so the more colorful it becomes with those yellows, oranges, reds, that is indicated more rainfall activity. So there could be an accumulation of more than an inch of rainfall across portions of northern South America, especially for much of Guyana. There we can see that most of the country is within that colorful shading of those yellows and those oranges, reds, and even some of those green shadings as well. So it may not be the case where everywhere experiences some rainfall activity, but some areas may receive some pretty heavy rainfall, some pretty substantial rainfall activity. Similar story for Suriname and even parts of French Guiana as well. And in the case of a lot of heavy rainfall, there can be some flooding. So please be mindful of that and stay safe if you encounter such an event. But across most of the Lesser Antilles and the Virgin Islands, even to the ABC Islands as well, we're not seeing where a whole lot is expected. There may be some passing showers at the most, and some showers also moving through across sections of Puerto Rico, going toward Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Jamaica, some spots in Cuba, and through sections of the Bahamas as well. Turks and Caicos Islands, Cayman Islands likely to remain pretty dry today, with a pretty low chance of any substantial rainfall. And then as we head over into Central America, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and even some parts of Panama, there may be some periods of some heavy downpours, and even isolated areas elsewhere across Central America. There could be some showers here and there. And then of course up in portions of Mexico, there could be some heavy rain. And as I mentioned earlier, there is some activity moving through across the Gulf Coast states that will likely be enhanced as we head through today. So for the southeasterly portion of Louisiana and going into the northern part of Florida, southern Alabama, as well as Georgia, there could be some heavy downpours, even some severe weather across some areas. So that is certainly a possibility as we head through today. Now, in terms of the winds, it is going to be pretty windy across some areas for Gulf Coast states, and even across sections of the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos Islands. There may be winds up to around 15 knots or so at the most. And then in the Caribbean Sea on a whole, we can see some of those darker purple and blue shadings, which represent stronger winds. And so in the vicinity of the northerly portion of Colombia, Venezuela, and the ABC Islands is likely to be where experiences those strongest winds through today, up to around 20 knots or so. And then across the Lesser Antilles, likely the maximum up to 15 knots, but some gusts may be a bit stronger than that. And then for much of the northern Caribbean, going over into Central America, around 10 knots. And the gusts may be a bit higher or stronger than that. And then as it relates to those wave heights, we can see here that there's a key over to the right side of your screen as we head up in those colors, going to those darker shades of blues and those greens, yellows. That is indicating those higher wave heights. And 6 to around 7 feet is likely to be the maximum wave heights across the Caribbean today. Notice where it is, right in the area which is expected to experience those strongest winds. So stronger winds blowing persistently over a large area of water equals those higher waves. So that is what we see happening across the Caribbean, guys. Again, there's no major weather system right now impacting the area, but of course I wanted to go into what is expected for today. And the hurricane season closes off this week officially, but sea surface temperatures are still pretty much above average across the majority of the Atlantic. Here we are looking at the map, and as we see more of those shades of yellows, oranges, and those reds as well, that is indicating those above normal temperatures. The white indicates that those temperatures are pretty much normal. Meanwhile, those blues indicate that temperatures are cooler than normal. So things remain pretty much above average for now, but on a whole, conditions have become way too hostile to allow for any more significant development as it relates to tropical cyclone activity. But it's not just about the tropical cyclones. Sometimes these other weather systems may be making their way through and enhance a lot of inclement weather conditions across some areas. So as usual, I'm here to keep you guys posted, and that is pretty much what I wanted to share with you in this update. So that is it for right now, and I hope you found this video to be quite informative. However, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll respond to you when I get the chance to do so. And remember to always be weatherwise.